folks, Sean Wieda here with Wieda's Marine, and spring is upon us in our region of the country, and this year we want to keep up with you guys with some local fishing tips and techniques. And I'm on the beautiful Ohio River. For those of you that live in the tri-state area, this is our main tournament body of water we fish, and many of you know a lot about it. But we also get a lot of people that come in and they want to know about fishing river systems. River systems can be very intimidating to learn because, you know, fish are not real plentiful. You've got dirty water. A lot of people sometimes are scared of all the debris and things like that. But river fishing can actually be really, really fun. And I just want to take a quick moment and tell you some really basic things about river fishing. So in the spring of the year, you can see right here, we've got a creek, okay? This creek's gonna flow and it's gonna have current, okay? We can turn around right out back here and we got the main river right out there, all right? So there's a main river there and we got the creek here that are out of the current, okay? And this is a good illustration behind me, is the current's gonna come through here where my boat is. All this water back up in here, this is all slack water. So when you first look for those bass in really early spring on a river system, you want to look for slack water. That's where they're going to start to feed up. The shad are going to be in an eddy. Even though this creek may not look like it's flowing a lot, there is current, and those bass later in the year will want to be out there. They'll want to be in that main creek. Right now they want to be out of the current. I'm going to start, generally the first bait that I'm going to catch fish here in the Ohio River Valley on is a small frame spinnerbait, okay? The famous Timmy Post spinnerbait is a really good one. This one's made by a friend of mine, Ron Hiles. He makes a really good spinnerbait, but it's small and compact, and you'll see I've got really heavy line on this. I got 20-pound line on this little bitty spinnerbait. It's a 3/16, and the reason for that is I can keep that bait really high up in the water column. When these fish are first moving up, they'll stay very high in the water column, and this is a really good bait, comes through the cover. The fish in the river really like to be around that wood in the early pre-spawn, and this is something that I can use, okay? You know, I've got a bridge in the background here. It's got some riprap on it. Riprap is a really big deal in the spring too. Again, the bass are gonna seek out hard bottom areas to spawn. This is a PH Custom Lures flat side crankbait. It's got a really tight wiggle to it. And in the early spring, this is going to be one of the first crankbaits I throw. Again, very early in the spring like this, the bass are going to be more in a chasing mood, and those are going to be two of the key lures that I'm going to use. The last lure is something that we all have in our tackle box, okay? We all have a black and blue jig, but I want to talk again about, I've got this on really heavy line. I've got this on 25-pound line. This is a 1/4 ounce jig, and I've got a big giant zoom chunk on this. This jig falls really slow, and these bass in the Ohio River Valley, if they're not going to want to chase that spinnerbait and that crankbait, and they're in a mood where they're really locked down, you need something with a really slow fall early in the spring, okay? As the water warms up, I'm going to go to a heavier jig, and I'm going to find something that is going to fall faster and get more of a reaction strike. So, as you can see, I've got very common lures here, but my line diameter and the way that I'm fishing them is important, and where I'm fishing it is really important. And remember, on a river system, if you catch a few fish, you're not going to run and gun. You're going to camp out and you're going to fish those small areas. The bass really concentrate, and you want to be thorough when you find an area. But anyway, we hope to be bringing you a lot more of these tri-state fishing trips this year. Sean Wieda with Wieda's Marine signing out. Get out there and tight lines.